Kilometre crochet, where I crochet one row every day to represent how many kilometers we drive during our van trip across Canada. Wow, day 30. That is a month of living in the van. We can't believe it. We started off the day early. It was cold this morning, so we used our heater. We used the pit toilet as well, which was exceptionally clean, and then we drove on. The drives during this leg of the trip are longer than before, but the landscape is so beautiful, and you're often the only ones on the road, and there's the thrill of possibly seeing wildlife, so it makes the drive pass by faster than you'd think. We soon stopped for breakfast. We are having the last bit of yogurt with melted frozen fruit. When I was making it, the fruit smelled a little funky, and then when I bit into the fruit, it had a little tingly sensation. I think we just brewed our first batch of moonshine. We drove on and made it to the Yukon Motel. We filled gas, filled our drinking water, emptied our gray water, and used the bathroom. What a great stop. It really had everything we needed. We continued driving, and wow, there sure are a lot of bugs on this stretch. I even noticed a pretty itchy bite on my neck. We then stopped at a Ruststop to cook lunch. Japanese curry again, but this time with chicken. We've never had it with chicken before, but it was good. Very tender. Afterwards, we headed towards the Conrad campground because there's a hike that Rebecca wants to do here. Mountain Hero. So we strapped on our gear and set off. But as we got to the trailhead, we noticed storm clouds and thunder, so we decided to turn back just to be safe. It did rain, but it also did stop. But we decided to do the drive to Emerald Lake instead. It's a viewpoint and it's a very pretty lake for sure. After that, we drove to the Carcross Desert, which is actually the remains of an ancient lake. We walked towards and up the hill, and wow, walking in sand is tough. When we got back to the van, my shoe was filled with sand. Surprisingly, Rebecca didn't have this problem. Next, we stopped by the town of Carcross. Very small and super cute. The downtown area consists of a few shops and restaurants, the visitor center, and a playground. The slide was actually quite thrilling. 10 out of 10 would recommend. We then drove back to the campsite to shower and cook dinner. Indomie! Yum! I also added some miso soup, rice, and spam to make it more substantial. After, we discovered a problem. Our water pump stopped working. We took a look at the fuse and it was broken, so we replaced it. Still didn't work though, so we took a look at the pump. The filter had a bunch of plastic shavings in it, so we thought, oh no, was there debris in the water when we filled it and somehow damaged the pump? So we cleaned out the filter. Didn't work. Then we emptied out the water tank to see if there was any plastic in it. Nothing. Then when I checked the electrical connection again with the voltmeter, the tooth washer of the screw of the positive wire was corroded. So we replaced it and drove back to Carcross to refill water. This is when it finally worked. Yay! But then we drove back to our site to sleep and then realized we left our table at the water fill, so we drove back and forth again. The town was only 15 minutes away, but wow, we spent an hour and a half on that road. So today we drove a total of 492 kilometers, so that would be 49 brown stitches and 51 white stitches to represent how many kilometers we drove today. See you next time on